Hello everyone and everybody. We are going to stream pretty soon for this H3, how do I say, for this inaugural flight of the H3-30S variant. This one will be the only variant of the H3 rocket so far that, from what I get, that will only have three LE9, how do I say, LE9 Hydrolox rocket engine on the first stage instead of typical two like you see on the previous H3. Let's say, for example, with the anything with the side SRB, the solid rocket booster. Usually with the side solid rocket booster SRB, it will only feature two LE9 main engines there. But on this flight with no SRB, we will see with no we will see with three LE9 main engines. So that's the uniqueness of this flight, and that's why I would like to cover here as well. Well, because it's kind of history, so why not? And yes, and also I managed to get the mission patch pretty much at the last minute, since I've already tried find and scour this stuff as much as possible. But I can say, unless you get the PDF itself from the JAXA, you will not get that kind of H3 mission patch. So that's the good thing. And keep in mind that I try to speak as clear as I can. So if you hear this kind of dead silent a little bit for a few of seconds, that's pretty deliberate right now what I'm doing, because I tried my best not going too much. I don't want to use too much filler words, so hopefully this is good for all of you. And this is it. I will go live as much as I can, but just give me a little bit of time. So thank you so much, everybody. We will be back soon. Okay, so thank you so much everybody for waiting a bit, and I'm a little bit patient here, so yeah, looks like we can go live right now. So hello everybody, and welcome to this to my channel as well. Yeah, that's one bit of filler word, but that's okay. I can reduce it. And so far, yeah, to give you a little bit of update, we are almost 10 minutes away from the launch, and welcome everybody to this stream. And what I would like to tell you is that I'm Dennis Suguwa, your host today for the launch of the H3-30S rocket. This one will be the inaugural flight of this mission. Though for this H3 Flight 6 mission, that will be carrying 6 payloads on this mission aboard here. This one will be launched from the Tanegashima Space Center on the Yoshinobu Launch Complex LAY, how do I say, LA-Y2. And the 6 payloads in the question would be the Stars X, VEP5, Bro 22, Vertex, Horn L and Horn R, and also Petrel. This would be the mission that will be launching for today. But because I don't want to waste too much time, instead, we will go here. And how do I say? Today it's practically almost 8:45 a.m. Okay, mark 8:45 a.m. here in Sarawak in Borneo. It's 12 June 2026 on Friday. So, and also the mission will be less than 9 minutes from now. So we might as well just go to the live here while I will explain slightly here in bit. And this is the live view right now. You're looking right now of this view, and there's a few cameras here and there, and I'm using the international rocket launchers here because it provides some quite vantage view here and there as well. And sometimes even JAXA can miss a bit of good view, so that's why. Okay, and this one switch camera to JAXA, as you can see. This is the payload frame itself. This one, the diameter is 5.2, okay, with the height almost around 8 meters, around that kind of stuff here. And you can see the view right now. It's okay, not to say it's like very sunny, but it should be fine. And while we are still waiting, I will explain to you here and there bits. On the first stage, you see, on the first stage, that's basically a big orange yellow there before it's separated by the interstage adapter there with the pale yellow color there. That one is actually powered by the 3 LE9 main engines there. And then followed by on the second stage, after it was separated with the interstage together, the rest of it is powered by the, if I remember, it's actually powered by one LE5 5B. Yeah, that one is actually powered by LE5B-3 main engine. No, on the second stage there. Okay, and that's what you're looking right now. And just to give you more as well, to tell you here and there. Okay, so this is the view. It's basically shot down from from top to bottom of the rocket itself. Okay, you can see the piping protruding out from the first stage rocket engines there. Okay, and as we're still waiting, might as well I just give you a little bit of update here. And this one is the only variant flight that's basically not powered by yeah, that's basically not going to be powered by any kind of SRB there. Side SRB, the side solid rocket boosters, it's not going to be powered anything by that. And that's basically it. And all of the rocket stages is using the expander cycle, in case you really want to know. Originally, it uses the gas generator cycle, but eventually they move on to the expander cycle on the second stage engine there, the LE5. But the rest, like LE9, it's still maintain that usage of the expander cycle, especially expander bleed cycle, same as LE7, but with some slight improvement here and there. And usually, typically on this mission, it will attain, on at least on the specific impulse, it will actually attain around, okay, on the first stage LE9, let's say we take the vacuum specific impulse, usually it will reach around 426 seconds, or around 4.18 kilometers per second. Usually on the sea level, it will only reach presumably basically less than 400 seconds of it, but would be around 390 plus seconds around of the operation, or around the exhaust velocity of around 3.8 something kilometers per second, like that. And then on the LE5, usually in this case it's LE5B3-3, that one will have the specific impulse on the vacuum operation of around 448 kilometers 448 seconds, or around 4.39 kilometers per second. So that's that. But just to give you a bit update here and there, this is what I obtained, and this is also where I get all of this where I get the mission patch. Here you can see here. Okay, originally it's scheduled for the flight of 10 June 2026 on 2 days ago on Wednesday, but however, due to the weather circumstances, they have to move that flight to today. And this is also basically where I get this mission patch here. You can see on the right side, that's how I get it. And here is the mission in the nutshell. All of this is basically from my calculation, especially including the mass simulator. It's around 1,695.6 kilograms. The heavy mass contributor is actually coming from the VEP5, which is the Vehicle Evaluation Payload-5. Sorry, I'm correct. Vehicle Evaluation Payload-5, and that one is basically simulating the mass necessary needed for the future mission. But the rest of it, it's actually attached with 6 payloads on board this mission. The first one is Bro 22. Second is the Stars X. Third is Petrel. Fourth is Vertex, and 5 and 6 respectively is Horn L and Horn R. This is where do you get this one as well? Okay, and the mechanism of the release, you can see how as well it will swing some of the arm, detach it and release for the flight. This is how it looks like. And I think the rest of it, you can also read this. I will try to link this in the description if I can, but need to remind you that the YouTube, the YouTube length limit means that I might have some kind of problem here and there. And the rocket engine plumbing, basically it uses the expander cycle, basically uses the exhaust heat, waste heat, that's basically first burn into the combustion chamber to move this turbine yeah, to move the turbine here. Okay, to actually move the turbine, you can see on the expander cycle, you first it burns slightly on the fuel and oxidizer on the prop. Yeah, yeah. So basically, some of it will be burn on the pre-burner chamber, where it's actually move the turbine first, fuel and oxidizer. It will move respectively inside the main engine there, combust, heat there, heat exchanger, and then eventually it moves. It use it's going to use the exhaust waste heat to pressurize to actually move the and pressurize the fuel and also oxidizer tank there, here and there, and that's basically it. And we are getting ready for the flight. Okay, get ready. T minus 15, 14, 13, T minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and we have all three LE9 main engine start, and we have release and liftoff. Liftoff of the H3-30S rocket right now on the very end without the SRB side solid rocket boosters, carrying the 6 payloads in this mission. And liftoff from the Tanegashima Space Center from the Yoshinobu Launch Complex LAY2. And looks pretty good. And you can see there, nice. So in the very long time, and it's on the liquid fuel rocket orbital rocket, this will be the first flight ever for Japan without any kind of SRBs. So you can say they kind of met history, but we will see whether or not it's good. But I would like to consider this is like, imagine like a Delta 4 medium, but even though the capability is even lower than Delta 4 medium, but however it's good so far.
H3 is now flying about Pacific Ocean to the east.
Okay, and now it's already changed into the JAXA view here.
H3 flight is on.
Okay, so pretty good. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so this is JAXA a little bit. Yeah, so JAXA have a little bit of their stream buffering problem, but however it's good. Okay, and but however it's not a very big concern. Flight is still continuing pretty well, going to the south, launching to the south. It's right from what I know, it's that they are going to target around 576 kilometers of altitude with the orbital inclination of 97.69 degrees, launching to the south. And we are getting ready in for the payload separation there. And if you see some of the flight curve, it's going upward. That one is pretty intentional as well, as it's going to go to 576 kilometers of orbit target. And hoping for the best, because this is also mark the return to flight for the H3 rocket in general after the H3 Flight 8 upset, or basically a setback as a result of excessive force of the payload fairing separation. It causes the loss of the Michibiki 5, aka the QZS5. Okay, we have payload fairing separation there. Okay, as a result of the hard separation, payload fairing separation on the H3 Flight 8, it causes the payload adapter to basically crack up, and then by the time the main engines stop on the first stage, you can see first stage engine stop, shut down, cut off, main engine cut off, interstage separation confirm, stage separation confirm,
Confirmed
and get
first stage
ready
and
for the
second
second
stage
engine
separation.
start. Number one, SAS1. Get ready for the second engine ignition number one as well, also known here. And second engine ignition confirm.
Confirmed second stage
LE5P-3 is
engine
right now
ignition.
on the way, igniting the rockets right now for the mission. And for the whole total of this mission, it will last almost 20 minutes into the flight,
Now the screen you are
or
seeing now
basically
is a
possibly should
CGI
be
rendered
around
almost in real time based on
around
incoming
18
data
minutes
from
plus
the
into the
rocket.
flight. Then the mission will
Well,
be completed
this is
as
the
well.
flight status indicator for public for the H3 rocket. We call it
And
usually
hopefully hope for the
H3-F6.
best. And the altitude right
This
now is
shows the
already
rocket's
exceeding 300
direction and
kilometers,
altitude as
and
aligned.
the
It's a
velocity
visualization
slightly
of the
dropping, but
information
that's
received from the
pretty
rocket. The top
nominal,
left
pretty
shows the
okay,
speed and
as the
altitude.
rocket are still climbing
As you
up,
see, it shows a very high figure,
so the
but it's
rocket
in kilometer per
velocity is
hour,
still
but it converted into
slightly
the
slightly going into
this
negative, but
kilometer per second.
otherwise
It's about 8
looks pretty
kilometers per
nominal,
second.
as the energy
Well,
requires
here the X plus
to head to the
figure
orbit in
shows
combination, in tandem of combination
show the time elapsed since the rocket
of the
launch.
flight upward as well. Of course, it's going to resulting some the rocket engines to a little bit going down, but however, it should be okay and should be normalized. How do I say stabilized by the time it reaches around 500 plus kilometers like that. We might see that soon. You will see on the rocket velocities there should be going rising up again, and looks like it's stabilizing just slightly okay, and we might have slight indication that the orbit that the rocket velocities is rising up again,
Now,
as it
the rocket
re-
is
as it on the way is
continuing its
reaching to
flight.
the altitude of
About 1 year
500 kilometers.
ago, this
Okay,
the
and looks pretty
H2A's
good.
last
Right
flight
now it
was successfully
stabilizes
launched.
and going up back
From
again.
here,
Yeah,
that's
so
the
looks like we have
tanegashima.
confirmed it goes up again,
Can we
and the
just
rocket
talk
engine
about the
operation on
differences
the
between the
second
H2A and
stage
the
looks
H3?
nominal there.
Well, there are several differences. The most easily understand,
And the altitude right now
what
almost
we can
500
understand most easily
kilometers.
is that
Get ready
the
for the
launch
500
capacity has
kilometers
been
on my mark.
increased by up to approximately
Mark
1.5
500
times.
kilometers.
This
And
increased launch
here we can
capacity is
see the
made
velocity
possible
right now
by the
almost
LE9
reaches
first stage
12,000,
engine. The LE9
almost 12,000
has
kilometers.
a
Yeah,
thrust of
okay,
approximately
12,000 kilometers per hour
150 ton F, which is
reaches right now.
significantly more powerful than
And
the
in order to reach,
that of the
in order to
H2A.
properly
So on the other hand, by
step,
applying a relatively
properly going into the
simple
stable
engine
orbit,
system called
especially
the
for this kind
expanded bleed cycle, reliability
of
has been
this,
improved and
especially
cost
on
been
this low Earth
reduced.
orbit, usually they
Other
have to
than that,
target around,
are there any
at maximum would be around
difference between the
28,000
H2A and H3?
kilometers per
Well,
hour,
this
or a
time
little bit
is a
higher. Could be
configuration.
slightly lower, but that's normal
Okay.
as long we
In
hear the
this case,
nominal
it's a
call out,
configuration without solid rocket boosters,
and you know,
but
as long we hear
we have
clapping from the launch control center and
employed what's
also from
called
the
a
mission
synergy
control center,
development, where we
we
share
know the
this
mission looks fine
rocket.
so
So,
far.
building upon
But
past
so far so
technological
good. At
achievement
least
while also
preliminary, the
venturing
flight
into new
is good.
technology, we are
And
efficiently
the second engine
advancing
stage,
development not just on
the
individual rockets but
second
on the
second
entire
engine will
core
be
rocket
cut off.
system. Yes,
Second
indeed.
engine cut off number one will
Well,
be
now
initiated
we
around
have
15
a
minutes and
replay
7
footage
seconds, but that one is pretty
of the
approximate,
launch,
as the
so
rocket still
we
needs to
can
do some kind of
see
adjustment as well,
maybe
to
we can just
to
touch
adjust it
on the difference
to the
between the
correct
rocket with
orbital
boosters
perimeter
and
as
the
well.
rocket without boosters.
Okay, and this is the
Well, we are about
replay
to see the
here if you want to
launch.
see, and you can see the torch
Wow, the
igniters
torches
on,
are lit.
and there is the three
Yes,
LE9 main
LE9
engines
has been
there start
ignited.
after the water garden
Wow,
sound
it's
suppression
so
system
cool.
starts, and you can
Wow,
see
it's so nice, wonderful. Well,
how it
Mr.
start. You
Nagao,
can see
as we
pretty nice
had
there, pretty
expected,
beautiful shot.
this
That one is quite
looks a
reminiscence to
bit
the
slower than the other
uh,
rockets, the previous
it's
rockets.
actually
Yes,
it's actually
it's
pretty
felt a bit
reminiscence to
slower
the
than the
Delta
previous
4
ones
medium,
because
but
we
the
don't
capabilities are
have
way
this
lower than
large
Delta 4
solid rocket
medium. But
boosters
however, it quite reminds me of
to
that
have it
Delta 4 yesteryear era.
go up. Yes, and
So
one
that's
thing
why
that caught my attention is
I'm
the
I'm pretty
smoke.
hyped to see there. And
Usually, we
looks like
see
the
the
altitude
thick
is
cloud of rocket load.
going a little bit up there,
This is a thick cloud that
624
remains
kilometers,
for a
al-
long period of
with the
time
velocities
after
of
the rocket
exceeding
launch. But in this case,
14,000 kilometers per
you
hour.
see
But
nothing of that cloud.
however, that's pretty nominal,
Yes,
especially if you know about
obviously
the
it's due to the
orbital
absence
mechanic law.
of the rocket
It will
booster, solid
slightly
rocket booster.
dipping
It's
up
some
in
clear
in
difference that we
preparation
can observe.
to go a little bit of
Yes,
lower there
it's a kind of
to maximize the
interesting, isn't it? And the
to
other thing
maximize
that
the
we paid
velocities
attention
that can be
to was the
imparted on the
color of the
second
flames
stage
that came from the
firing as
engines.
the
That
mission
because
still is
it's made
going.
of the
And yeah,
oxygen and
as you have
hydrogen,
already seen on the
so we
launch
thought it
replay,
would
and
be
also if you see from my
transparent,
earlier
clear
on
and transparent.
replay,
Yes, I
that one
found
is
it
pretty amazing, pretty
rather
spectacular
than
view of
being
the
the
rocket there.
bluish
And
flame,
yeah,
I
just to give you a little bit of
thought that it
stuff
looked
that I would
rather
like to tell you,
orangish.
ju- because
So
I
maybe due
didn't
to
have
the
enough time
vapor
to
and
cover
dust
which payload is it
burning, it maybe looked
in
orangish.
specifics, but however, I'm going to
Yeah,
tell
I
you just
see. But
plus minus a
we
bit
can touch
while we're
on
still
that.
talking.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
using
go back to
my
the
memories right
images
now
later if you
to
have
recall
more
back. Okay, the Bro
interest.
22, the Brace BREIZAH. Yeah, I don't know how to properly pronounce that without possibly butchering up even more and without even using some a bit undesirable word there due to how I pronounce. But that's the best attempt that I can go. That one, the Brace reconnaissance orbiter in question is the Bro 22. Okay, previously, if I remember, it was
Right.
assigned Bro
Regarding H3
19,
rockets,
due
this
to
time
the
the number 6,
but
if
due to
this
the
is successful, all the lineup will
delays
be
and whatnot, it was
completed.
reassigned to
But the further
Bro 22.
development is underway.
So this is where we're going
And
right now. And the Bro
actually including the
satellite
improvement in the
satellite series is
sophisticated
basically a
frequency of launch. And
commercial
why is further
basically as a
development
commercial
necessary?
CGIN,
Well, actually,
the signal
in recent
intelligence and
years,
also
demand for the satellite launches have
maritime
expanded rapidly, and rocket supply is
vessel
increasingly
observation
unable to keep
satellites.
up.
Basically,
Furthermore, there is
it's a
growing
commercialized
demand for
version
flexibility
for
in launching
the
satellite
not
at
only for the
desired
commercial
times.
use case
Therefore,
as well,
to
but
meet
also
this demand from
for
satellite customers,
NGO, for
the H3 rocket is working to increase
organization.
launch
That one
frequency,
is also
aiming
to do some
for
kind of watch
6 to
list
8
here and there and
launches per
whatnot. And
year.
as you can see,
Through
it's
improvement
all
to launch
it's
site
slightly
facilities and
not that
streamlining
far away from
launch
Philippines and
operations,
from
also
us
to
Borneo,
support
but you can
multiple
see it's
small
kind of
satellite
cloudy
carrying
right
and
now. And
constellation
yes, I can
project,
confirm
and
it's
to
pretty
further enhance launch
cloudy as well.
capabilities in
But
anticipation
that's pretty
of
typical,
further
pretty
large-scale
normal.
exploration missions and so on.
In a very
In order
good
to respond
clear
promptly
day, you will
to the
see
rapidly changing
Borneo
market in
pretty
recent
well.
years,
But
we are
this
pursuing
is not that
a
kind of
phased
discussion
upgrade
that we are in.
of our
Okay, but that's
rocket
basically
as
in the
part of
nutshell.
our advanced
Bro, 20,
development programs.
satellite
And
series
we
is
are
basically
taking
that.
comprehensive measures to
And
meet current
in
demand, including
on that
operational
flight, I've
aspects.
also already
And
mentioned
the
about the
launch site
VEP-5,
facility I
Vehicle
saw,
Evaluation
our
Payload-5.
advanced strengths,
That one is
which
basically a mass
includes
simulator, but
supporting
with functional
milestones for small satellites
satellites,
and looking forward to future
small
large-scale
CubeSat satellites
milestones,
there being
was a
attached
very
there.
strategic
And
approach.
that one simulating around 1,500 kilograms of payload mass, so that's that.
Okay, then
But the
following.
rest of it,
Now, actually,
what I
let's
would like to
see what
tell
is
you is that
happening
the
now.
Horn R L and Horn R, that one is basically a payload demonstrator for the payload mission demonstrator for the how do I say, for this s- satellite, for the space debris re-entry, basically just to do some kind of control re-entry back to Earth, uses the space tether technologies. Basically, it can extend up to 1 kilometers between this mother satellite and also daughter satellite. That's how the missions in the nutshell. And the Stars X, yes. Or if I remember, that one is Stars X. What I'm talking about. Wow. Yeah, that one with the space tether, that one is for the Stars X. I'm very sorry. Okay, for the Horn L and Horn R, respectively, that's also quite similar objective with the Stars X, but instead of uses the space tether technology to not only docking but also to test out how they can reintersect back. It's it's basically going to be a separate with the CubeSat but extended using the, how do I say, the atmospheric drag there to reenters it back to Earth. And also another one, if I remember correctly, after the Broad 22, yeah, Broad 22,
It
Petrel,
seems that
Stars
the
X,
engine's first combustion will
Hon
finish,
L,
and
Hon R.
as long
Yeah,
as we
another
can
one is
confirm
the
that, our
Vertex.
main mission,
Vertex
the
is basically
second stage,
basically
entering into the
not only
orbit, is
just
completed.
it's
And for the
basically
time
going to
being,
function
let's
as two
watch
types.
this.
That one is the technology demonstrator satellite with two M's, basically a little bit of Swiss knife mission there. The first one, on the daytime, it will act as an Earth observation satellite, but on the nighttime, they will use it for the astronomy side of the mission. So this is what they are going to demonstrate. And we are getting ready for the second engine cutoff number one. Get ready in 5 seconds from now. Okay,
The
so
first
looks
combustion
like
Shutdown of the second
so
stage
we have
engine.
second engine cutoff number one confirmed. So 4 seconds earlier,
The first
so looks
combustion
like
shutdown of the second stage engine has
so
been
looks like
confirmed.
the
We
mission
did
already
it. We did
did
it.
it
Yes,
better than
should
before.
just a
Okay,
detail.
so you can say it's
Confirmation of the
due to
orbit
the
insertion was
4 seconds
authority
earlier
directed,
on
but
with
for
the
now,
velocities
we
of
revealed that the second stage orbital
27,550 kilometers per hour with
insertion was
the, yeah,
completed.
just like I said,
And actually, after that, the
the
role of
orbital
the
target
separation
regime
of
is
the microsatellite is
576
very
kilometers.
smooth.
So just
Satellites
like
are
described,
repaired
it
down
was
yet, and
actually perfect,
shortly
right on
after
time,
the little
bullseye,
small
and
satellite stars exit the
looks pretty good
tutorial
as well.
will separate.
This is what we want to hear so far. And getting ready for the Petrel and also Stars X separation. Let's listen in to the call out. And looks like we have the cheering and clap from the Mission Control Center. Petrel and Stars X has already separated. We have heard two simultaneous separation confirmed. And but the mission is not yet over, as as there are still
Yes, it
as there are
seems that separation
still
of the
four payloads left to be
microsatellites has
deployed for
been
this mission,
confirmed successfully.
or three.
Yes, the first
For
burn of the
for
second
total
stage
payloads
engine
is
has
basically
successfully
including with the
completed, and the H3 rocket test
non-detachable
vehicle number 6 has
vehicle
achieved its
evaluation
main
payload
mission of second stage orbit
5. Yeah.
insertion. We
So
also confirmed that the
fortunately, I
separation of the
properly correct
ultra-small
myself
satellite or
there.
microsatellite Stars X Petrol. What do you think, Mr. Nagao? Yes.
But you need to know that the
These
mission is still not yet
two
over,
micro
as it's still
satellites have
going on
been
for this mission.
deployed into orbit. So we still need to see the remaining four microsatellites. So we need to stay on watch. Well, for this
Okay,
launch,
so
we provided
so if
launch
we
opportunities
also
for
include the
six
Horn L
microsatellites
and
using
R,
our
technically
newly
4 is
developed
correct,
ultra-small satellite adapter.
on
Seeing
tot
how the
but in
H3
total payload, it will be
makes access
that
to
still
space
left needs to be
easier than ever before, I sincerely
that's
hope that the
on board
space
this mission
will
would be
become more
9, or
accessible to a
if you want
wider
to group
range of
together
people.
Horn L
And
and R, it
personally,
will be
I
8.
am
But
committed to work hard
what
to make that
but
happen.
well, why do I want to be too
Um,
pedantic there? It is what it
yes,
is.
I'm really looking forward to see rocket achieves in the future.
And
Well,
get ready in.
with
We
this
are still ready.
launch, the entire H3 rocket lineup is now complete. However, still we have development challenges we need to work on, such
Okay,
as the
so
faster
maybe I
cutting
can
method
also
for
try
the
shows.
PSS and the
Next
development
will
of the
be
Type
on the
2 for
separation.
the
It will
LE9
be
engine. After
for
resolving
this
these
one.
challenges,
After
we
Stars
intend
X
to steadily
and
advance
Petrel, it will
efforts
be the
such as
Bro
increasing
22.
the launch frequency
Okay,
and
after the Bro
advanced
22
development of the H3
separated,
rocket, and work together with
soon
all
enough it will be
stakeholders to
Vertex
further boost
and
Japan's
also
space
Horn L
development.
and Horn R. Horn L and R,
Yes,
this
the
one will
launch
be separated
results,
on
including the
around
placement of the second stage
80,
into orbit
80
and the
seconds
separation
apart,
of the
which will be
microsatellites,
1
will be
minute and
officially announced in a
20 seconds
subsequent
into the
JAXA
flight.
press
So yeah.
release and a press conference regarding the launch progress. The press conference will also be live streamed on
Yay,
the JAXA YouTube
Siko!
channel. For
So
details
hello,
regarding the press
hello
conference,
Starship.
please
Welcome
check
to the
the
stream.
JAXA website or JAXA's official social media accounts. Yes, we ask for your continued support for the H3, Japan's flagship rocket. We also ask for your support for the new Epsilon-S rocket, for which we are currently diligently working on investigating the cause of the problem and developing it for launch. Yes, we would appreciate your continued support for the H3 rocket and the Epsilon-S rocket.
Yeah, and also I really,
Thank
really
you
hope
for
that.
watching today's live broadcast of the launch of the H3 launch vehicle flight number 630 configuration test vehicle.
Oh, so basically that's a bummer. They did not show another payloads that will be separated, but well, I would not blame on them because this process is quite long. But technically, if we have to go with the yeah with this PDF that I got here, okay, this one is really official from JAXA. I will try to link this stuff as well. Hopefully, it's not going to exceed the f- description limit by imposed by YouTube. So this is will be the rest of this mission. So yeah, that's why I said it's going to be the rest of it will be 20 minutes after that or so. And yeah, for this mission on this H3 mhm, rock, rocket launcher as well that we actually see, yeah, the next will be Bro 22, and this one the will be the first foreign, you can say the first foreign passenger passenger on board for this H3 mission. This one will be the first ever for them. Yeah, I mean it's not going to be the first. It's it's obviously not the first ever for the whole H2 for the H rocket series for JAXA. In fact, I could consider the first would be the Telstar Telstar Vantage back then with the H2 H2B rocket, if I remember, or H2A, something like that, with a little bit of beefier, or if I remember, H2B as well. So that's obviously not the first time, but and I do watch that kind of stream before that. So you can say that's basically a little bit how old, a little bit ancient myself would be already being in this kind of stuff. So but yeah, the rest of it, well, I guess that's it. We have already finished the stream. Unfortunately, there's not much that I can tell you that much, but just to give you a little bit of straight update here before we go for the stream, the end of the stream. Stars X, in case you want to know, it actually stands for Tethered Autonomous Robotic Satellite X. That one. Yeah, the debris capture using the space tether. Yeah, that's why I said I got confused. So I'm very sorry. VP5 basically acted as a mass simulator payload, but also for the payload adapter stuff as well. The vehicle evaluation payload-5, and then row 22. I don't want to mispronounce this word again. Brace, whatever. I've already tried my best, so very sorry. That's I don't know how to properly pronounce this without butchering up even more. So yeah, reconnaissance orbiter. This one brought 22 commercialized SIGINT, the electromagnetic, the signal intelligence satellites for the maritime, and also apparently for the aerial traffic surveillance. And Vertex stands for visible extragalactic background radiation exploration by CubeSats. Okay, that's also another one. And Horn L slash Horn L and Horn R. This one is the mission disposal using the atmospheric resistance, and also Petrel, which stands for Platform for Extra and Terrestrial Remote Examination with TF. Okay. So LC basically going to stands for lightweight camera. I believe it should be lightweight camera test test flight, something like that. Yeah. But that's basically it in the nutshell. So this one, the first would conduct spectroscopic observations of Earth when on daytime, and on the nighttime side, it would survey the sky in ultraviolet wavelengths using for the field of time domain astronomy. So basically, that's about it. Yeah, and yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching, and yeah, thank you Starship. Yeah, oh well, bye. Oh wait, you also use next space flight? Yes, I do use next space flight because nowadays I consider it more tidier in comparison to try using Wikipedia. I remember back then, before next space flight website even exists, and especially the apps, it's pretty hard to even track on the space flight as well, and especially as time goes by, since around, if I remember 2016, 2015, something like that. That's also around the point of time when I'm very deep into this kind of space flight slash rocketry rabbit hole. That was the point where eventually it exceeds way, it's basically exceed that kind of threshold of the rocket launches, to the point that conventional Wikipedia might not going to help me. So that's why I'm using this right now, next space flight. So very good. This one is actually, if I remember, developed and maintained by NASA space flight as well. So, and that's one good addition here. And I would like to stream this. Unfortunately, I don't have to come up and rip out all of this anymore. I'm still keeping that detail as well. But all I need to do is just update that. Yeah, all I need to do is just update that date. Yeah, date time of this launch. That's the only thing that I need to do. Pretty simple, fortunately, with the Canva this day. So I'm using that. But if there's better tool, I might migrate that at some point. Okay, and also this one for next week on Tuesday. At least this one is on my local time here in Sarawak in Borneo. So please take note if you see it differently on your timeline. That one is because it's adjust according to your time, to your local time. So I'm using my local time here, UTC +8, Universal Time Coordinate +8 hours in Sarawak in Borneo. It's on 16 June 2026 on Tuesday. It will be the launch of the Spectrum rocket for the onward and upward mission. This one for the flight number 2. Okay. And all of this detail, I will save this later on, but just like what I had mentioned from earlier on, possibly I'm not going to be able to complete properly what I would like to say, because that's who am I. And also on the Wednesday on 17 June 2026, there will be 2 launch on few hours each. The first one would be for the Bluebird 8-10 satellites for the Falcon 9 Block 5 rocket here. Yeah, this one would be considered as a return to flight for the Bluebird after the setback on Bluebird 7, which the New Glenn failed to properly deliver this specific satellite due to the second ignition of the upper stage. So we are going to see that soon. And also not long after that would be for the Amazon Leo LE-03 launching on board the Ariane 6 Block 2 rocket. So this one would be the first flight for the block 2 with the upgraded P160C solid rocket boosters on the side solid rocket boosters here, as you can see. So this will be a little bit inaugural flight there, and also another one would be for Thursday. Oh yeah, but I don't know. Rather than myself try. Yeah, when I check, it says Monday. Yeah, if you see your timeline says Monday, you're not looking at it wrong. That one is because I'm using my local, because it's actually set into the local time here in Borneo. You know, we are basically 8 hours ahead of the UTC time, so please be noted. it's not delay. So if you see on Monday, your side is correct, and that's basically it. And yeah, I don't think I would like to explain too much. I would probably I would rather get myself a little bit of rest here and there. I don't know. I'm kind of tired this day, but well, I need to take care of myself more as well. I'm going to tidy up my channel just to ensure that I'm not wasting too much precious time burning oil just to do kind of stuff in there. And yeah, thank you Starship, and bye bye. we will see you and for everyone, see you soon on the next flight. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I'm Dennis Suguwa, your host today for the H3-30S rocket launches. For the H3 Flight 6, we successfully look at saw the launch, and all is good and well. So thank you so much everybody for watching, and I do need to take care of myself more and more right now as time goes by. And thank you so much everybody for watching, and see you on the next flight. Bye bye and take care. And yeah, that's it. We will go for now. Bye bye.